In 2019, I took a little road trip up to see the Serpent Mound outside Peebles, Ohio. This first field trip sparked my interest in nearby mounds and earthworks. In March of 2024, I drove up to Brown County, Indiana. We chose Browning Mountain because I wanted to check out some standing stones that I'd read were located there. I was hoping to do some recon for a place to watch the upcoming solar eclipse that was happening in 2 weeks. On my way back from the Frogman Festival in Loveland, Ohio, I visited a so-called Indian mound. That's an Indian mound. Way up here at the tippy top, in a neighborhood called Norwood in Cincinnati. My next stop was Charlestown State Park in southern Indiana. The park is the site of a former amusement park called Rose Island. We headed off the paved path first, towards what I'd hoped would lead to a view along 14 Mile Creek. The path drops down fairly quickly, offering partial views of the river from atop of the ridge that has been referred to as the Devil's Backbone. Interestingly, there's another place in Indiana called the Devil's Backbone near Bedford, but this one has the legend of Prince Madoc attached to it. The Prince Madoc legend tells of a Welsh prince who, with a crew of mariners, came to the New World around 1170 AD. Some say they came up through what is now Alabama. It's said that the amusement park was literally built on top of some ancient stoneworks that are attributed to the Welsh explorers. In addition to the stone fortifications found at Rose Island in 1963, Roman coins from the 3rd century were found by construction engineers just a few miles down the Ohio River near New Albany. I found it interesting that Rose Island is not an island at all, but rather a peninsula. And it wasn't always called Rose Island, but Fern Grove. In 1923, David B.G. Rose purchased the property and began developing it for tourism, hence the name. It just goes to show that there is some credence to the phrase, "To the victor belong the spoils." Once Mr. Rose purchased and developed Rose Island, we lost the evidence of Native American, Hopewell, Adena, Fort Ancient, or even Welsh settlement on the banks of the Ohio. But you can imagine my surprise when I stumbled upon a subdivision named for this elusive Welsh prince. And with these street names, there can be no doubt of the inspiration. But why? Just because of the novelty? In the spring and summer of 2024, I began traveling even farther, investigating falls, mounds, and stones. And what's become increasingly apparent is that secret histories and forgotten chronicles exist everywhere. Another mound. Wisconsin, Elk Mound, Wisconsin. View. Are you trying to tell me these mounds don't have nothing to do with no UFOs? Yeah, that's the highlight of my day. I like the sound of it. I do too. It's beautiful. Human beings have been moving about all over the globe for as long as they've been able to walk, run, row, scale, or sail. And as they move about, they name places. To name a place does not guarantee permanence. and yet a record of these names is vastly important. When we can recall all the names given to a place and remember the cultures who named them, we add to the immense collective library of memories and become all the richer for it.